So, just for clarity, now I want to say to everyone listening, go and read these tweets, look at these donations, read the statements yourself. This is really important. Because I don't want anyone just relying on us for the information. We are biased.
Yeah, you could maybe drop the links in the episode description.
Yeah, I do plan on doing that, but just to make it entirely foolproof, if you are allergic to links and reading, let me put in a reading of Scott Cawthon's response, because that is the most important thing to note here. So, once again, go into Future Rabbits, listen to this. My response, and maybe last post. This message isn't specifically directed at the Reddit community. This is just the community that I care about the most, and where I choose to post these things. I never cared much for Twitter anyway. To say that the last few days have been surreal would be an understatement. I've debated greatly about how best to address this, including not addressing it at all, but with so many people from the LGBT community in the fanbase that I love, that's not an option. I'd like to think that the last 7 years would have given me the benefit of the doubt in regards to how I try and treat people, but there I was, trending on Twitter for being a homophobe, getting doxxed, with people threatening to come to my house. My wife is 6 weeks pregnant, and she spent last night in fear because of what was being said online. She has already been struggling with her pregnancy, so seeing her so afraid really scared me. All this because I exercised my rights, and my duty, as an American citizen, to vote for and support the candidates who I felt could best run the country, for everyone, and that's something I won't apologise for. For those who took the time to look, you saw that the candidates I supported included men, women, white people, black people, Republicans, and Democrats. I supported Kimberly Kallick in Baltimore because I believe that she really cared for the African American community there and really wanted to pull them out of poverty. I believe she could really make a difference in a time when so many black communities were struggling. She lost, unfortunately. I supported Tulsi Gabbard, a Democrat, even though I disagreed with her on several issues, because I felt she would have been a good and fair president. And yes, I supported President Trump, because I felt he was the best man to fuel a strong economy and stand up to America's enemies abroad, of which there are many. Even if there were candidates who had better things to say to the LGBT community directly, and bigger promises to make, I believe that their stances on other issues would have ended up doing much greater harm to those communities than good. All of this explanation, I fear, is wasted, as people don't want to discuss with one another anymore. They want endless apologies and submission. People who are expecting those from me will get neither. I've always been supportive of creators, and I've tried to treat everyone fairly, and treat everyone with dignity and respect. I've never cared about anyone's race, religion, gender, or orientation. I just treat people as people, everyone the same, and because of that, I've ended up with a very diverse group of people I've worked with over the years. It wasn't intentional, it just happened that way. I choose people who are best for the job. I treat everyone the same, and I ended up with people from all walks of life, in my professional life, and my personal life as well. That's the way it should be. That's the way I want it to be. That's the way I will continue to be. I'm a Republican. I'm a Christian. I'm pro-life. I believe in God. And I also believe in equality, and in science, and in common sense. Despite what some may say, all of those things can go together. That's not an apology or promise to change, it's the way it's always been. If I get cancelled, then I get cancelled. I don't do this for the money anymore. I do it because I enjoy it. If people think I'm doing more harm than good now, then maybe it's better that I get cancelled and retire. I would accept that. I've had a fulfilling career. Besides, most things that people can take from you are things that never had much value to begin with. I have always loved, and will continue to love, this community and this fan base, even if someday it doesn't include me anymore.